Most respected dear family members, my pranams to you. Nowadays, it's so happy to see that many people, particularly youngsters, are coming forward for knowing, for understanding about Indian heritage. They are so happy and thrilled when they listen and when they understand the scientific, logical and rational aspects of Indian heritage. As you all know, Indian heritage can be classified under 4 titles or 4 heads. The first will be Indian spirituality. If you go deep into Indian spirituality, it will reach a point where all the stories connected gods and goddesses and deities will disappear, and finally we reach a point ekam sad vipraha bahuda vadanti, the ultimate truth, ultimate fact and ultimate essence of the whole universe and universal and cosmic phenomenon can be explained in one aspect. Ekam. Sat. Sat means truth, fact and essence. That is Ekam, only one. That is the end point of Indian spirituality. But starting point of Indian spirituality is connected with the stories and other things. So when we want to learn, when we are interested in learning Indian heritage, the first aspect is Indian spirituality. The more you go deep into the subject, you will know that just like the whole scientific aspect, whole science ends in Albert Einstein's equation E is equal to mc square, like that Indian spirituality ends in Sarvam Brahmamayam, Sarvam Galu Idu Brahmam, and Aham Brahmasmi Tat Brahma Tvamasi Ayam Atma Brahma Prajnanam Brahma. Whole world is composed of Brahma, which is nothing but energy with awareness and consciousness. Sarvam Galu Idam Brahma. So Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Napara. Everything is Brahman, everything is energy with awareness and consciousness. That is the end point of Indian spirituality. As I told a few seconds back, the beginning point of Indian spirituality is idol worship. Idol with a different background and different materials can be used for worshiping up for a common man. So Indian spirituality is the first aspect of Indian heritage. The second aspect of Indian heritage or second chapter of Indian heritage that can be defined as Indian customs and rituals, acharas. As you all know, Hinduism is not a religion because it is not composed by one man. It is not written by one man. It is not propounded by an individual. So, Hinduism is a wrong word in fact. There is nothing like Hinduism. It is a Sanatana Dharma in which the Dharma is important. Dharma is equal to all the customs and rituals to be performed by each individual. Each individual, whether personal customs and rituals, family-based customs and rituals, social-based, society-based customs and rituals connected with the nation. Acharas, Vyakti Dharma, Kudamba Dharma, Samuha Dharma, Rashtra Dharma, Audyogika Dharma, and all these dharmas are aggregation of customs and rituals. So if you want to learn Hindu Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, the first understanding about Indian spirituality. Understanding Indian spirituality can never be done, should not be done by comparing the spirituality of other Semitic religion. It will lead to a 100% wrong conclusion. So Indian spirituality is an entirely different pathway of spirituality. Starting from idol worship, ending in Brahma Chaitanya. Long pathway has to be walked so that you will be reaching from A to Z. When you reach the last point of Indian spirituality, even you will know that you do not know anything about Indian spirituality. That is the final word that I will be explaining in the course of time. The second chapter of Indian heritage is customs and rituals to be followed by each individual. As a student, as a mother, as a sister, as a wife, as a husband, mother, father, neighbor, citizen, and so on. That is Indian customs and rituals given through Dharma Shastra. So out of the 4 chapters you have to study, one is Indian spirituality, the other one is Indian customs and rituals, and the third chapter, if you want to learn Hindu Dharma, that is Indian literature. When you learn Indian literature, when you start learning Indian literature, you will know that it is an ocean. Unlike the Semitic religion, which has got only one literature written thousands or hundreds of years ago, that literature remained the same and no addition, deletion, modification and correction permitted. Even though yesterday I happened to see in one of the newspapers that the modern version of Bible has been released. That is what I saw yesterday in the newspaper. I do not know whether any old version, modern version, renovated version, reconstructed version, corrected version of Bible is possible or not. Of course, that is left to another viewpoint. But in India, if you want to learn Indian heritage, the third part is Indian literature, where thousands of literature are available, written by thousands of rishis in thousands of subjects for the last many thousand years. Why so many literature? Answer is very simple, which I will be further giving to you. The answer for the question why so many literature is that one individual cannot give all the knowledge needed for the human beings. One book cannot give all the knowledge required for the human beings. A book written during a particular period cannot give all the knowledge required for human beings living for the thousands and thousands of years in the past, in the present and in the future. And the people are interested in different subjects. Some people may be interested in health, science, music, civil engineering, or some people may be interested in textiles, some people may be interested in law, 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 some people may be interested in politics, some people may be interested in economics, some people may be interested in history, some people may be interested in the customs and rituals, some people may be interested in philosophy, psychology and so on. So all these subjects cannot be included in one book. So naturally you can say hundreds of literature are needed. It should be written by hundreds of scholars in that particular area, specified, specialized in that particular area. Hundreds of subjects are needed, and addition, deletion and modification should be done during the course of time. Otherwise many of this knowledge will become obsolete. Now you can see the third part of Hindu Dharma is Indian literature. And every literature, including Valmiki Ramayana or Mahabharata, commentaries are needed, addition, deletion, modification and corrections are needed depending upon the change of the system. So we have got first Indian spirituality. Remember, first is Indian spirituality. Second chapter is Indian customs and rituals. Third chapter, Indian literature, Hindu Dharma based literature. And fourth chapter is Indian scientific and technological heritage. Fourth chapter, Indian scientific heritage, as in the modern period, you have got mathematics. So we have got ancient Indian mathematics. More than 1200 mathematics based books have been written in India for the last many thousands years. These books are available in the printed form in Sanskrit now. Some books are available in the regional languages also. So Indian mathematical heritage, Indian astronomical heritage, astronomy, pure astronomy, like Shishya Divriddhi Tantra Vateshwara Siddhanta, Aryabhata Siddhanta, Aryabhatiyam, Legu Bhaskariyam, Brahat Bhaskariyam, Siddhanta Shiromani, and so many are there. Even 1000 astronomical books are, manuscripts are taken from Kerala system. So all over India, if you are searching, you can see tens of thousands of astronomy based literature are available. And that is Indian scientific heritage on mathematics, Indian scientific heritage in astronomy. Hundreds and hundreds of books are available on Indian chemistry. Rasa Ratnagara, Rasa Ratna Samuchaya, Rasendra Chudamani, Rasa Sara Sarvaswam, Rasarnavam, Rasa Kalparnavam, Rasa Sarvaswam, and so on. If you are going to the Trivandrum Ayurveda College Library, you can see hundreds and hundreds of Sanskrit based pure chemistry books are available, in which explanation of variety of chemical compounds, their preparation, purification, etc. are mentioned. So we have got Indian scientific and technological heritage, in which Indian mathematical heritage, Indian astronomical heritage, Indian heritage on chemistry, Indian heritage on physics. Physics heritage can be seen directly from Bharadwaja's Amshubodhini. It's a huge book. It's a wrong word to use huge book. It may be 10 times more voluminous than Mahabharata itself. Yandra Sarvasva is a small part of Amshu Bodhini. This Yandra Sarvasva itself has got 140 chapters. 140 chapters in Yandra Sarvasva, of which the 40th chapter is Vimana Tantra. Vimana Tantra is a big book. If you are printing with the modern font in English, it will come about 200 pages. So one chapter of Yantra Sarvasva is Vimana Tantra, which has got sub chapters about 100 and about 200 pages. Like that, 140 chapters are there in Yantra Sarvasva, and Yantra Sarvasva is a small part of Amshu Bodhini written by Bharadwaja Maharshi. So deals fully with physics. So Indian physics heritage, Indian heritage on the subject physics. And the majority of the darshanas, Shad darshanas, give explanation on various aspects of physics. Say for example, Vichi Taranganyayena Shabda Ulpatti. The sound propagates as waves. Apakarsha Padyandam Dravyam Paramanu Revam. Inferior most particle of a matter is known as an atom. And you can see Eka Samayecha Ubhayan Anavadaranam. It is impossible to perceive two complementary properties at a time. That is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Paramanu Riti Prokta Jnaninam Drishti Gojara. What we call it as Paramanu, only the scientists can understand about it. Common man cannot understand about it. So like that you can see variety of physics based information available. As I told you, mathematics, chemistry, astronomy, physics, variety of knowledge available on the plant system given in Charaka Samhita and Sushruta Samhita as a part of Ayurveda. So plants and animals are also explained in that. So the science of botany, science of zoology, you can see there. And you can see anatomy, the medical science. In detail it is given in Sharira Shastra by Charaka Acharya, Sushruta Acharya, Vakbada Acharya. I will use the word and so on. Many scholars have given right from BC 600 onwards. Veda Samhita, Brahma Samhita, Agni Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, Charaka Samhita, Ashtanga Hridaya, Ashtanga Sangraha. These are all voluminous books, very big book. In detail explanation of eyes given, ears given, throat given, mouth given, intestine given, blood circulatory system given. So even the blood circulation it is given there. So Damanyo Rektavahinaha Chaturvimshatiradidah Kulyabhiriva Kedara Rastabhir Dehobi Vardade. Just like the water is taken to the paddy field through the tubes, blood is taken to different parts of the body. Evolution theory is given there. Jatyandara Parinama Prakritya Pura. Evolution of the living being is the nature of the rule of the nature, not the nature of the rule of the nature. This we will be explaining further. So you can see Indian heritage on mathematics, Indian heritage on astronomy, Indian heritage on physics, Indian heritage on chemistry, Indian heritage on botany, Indian heritage on zoology, Indian heritage on biochemistry, anatomy, blood circulation, evolution and so on. So it is not taken from Vedas. These are all separate books. Separate books. Rasaratnagara. Rasaratna Samuchaya is a fantastic book written by Nagarjuna during 800 or 900 AD. AD, in which excellent explanation of a laboratory is given, how to analyze every aspect is given. So Rasa Shala, that is a laboratory explanation, is given in one full chapter. Beautiful explanation. Majority of the present laboratories are exactly copy of what Nagarjuna told in Rasaratna Samuchaya. So if you go deep into the subject, you will understand that Indian scientific and technological heritage. When I say technological heritage, you can see hundreds and thousands of palaces constructed, temples constructed, the civil engineering aspect and the civil engineering construction based materials. You can see the Gopuram of Padmanabha Swami Temple, Kumbakonam, Chidambaram, Suchindram and so on, constructed about 1500 years ago, where civil engineering marvel is so superb. The material used for constructing those temples and the material used for cutting the granite, the material used for binding them just like the cement, these are all beyond the level of worldly explanation. We cannot explain by words. And Indian metallurgy is full of technological heritage. Delhi iron pillar built during 50 BC, more than 2050 years. It remained without rusting, without even a single coat of painting. It remains. So the metallurgical technology, the civil engineering technology, Kanjipuram sari is the textile technology, Banaras muslin is the textile technology, and ceramics and glass is the technological products available, and agricultural technology. You go to any subject, Indian scientific and technological heritage is beyond the level of imagination for us. Now, today I wanted to start learning Hindu Dharma and teaching Hindu Dharma because today is the New Year day. Meda Sankranti day, the glorious day for starting learning anything. So in Kerala we celebrate it as Vishu and in Assam we celebrate it as Bihu. So this New Year day we should start learning Hindu Dharma. Let you be a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu, let you be an atheist or a believer or an ordinary man. It's your bound dharma, duty to learn Indian heritage. If you want to criticize Indian heritage, go ahead by criticizing Indian heritage. But do that after learning Hindu Dharma, after learning Indian culture. And if you want to propagate Indian culture, Indian heritage, learn scientifically, logically and rationally, then only propagate it. Otherwise it will be called you are a blind believer and you support all the non-logical, non-scientific, non-rational thing. Don't do it. Indian heritage, even though it is called Hindu Dharma, belongs to all Christians and all Muslims of India. Why I said that one? In India, no Muslim has come from Mecca or Saudi Arabia. All the Indian Muslims have got Indian Hindu blood. Whether you agree it or not is secondary thing. Every Indian Muslim has got converted into Islam either through sword or through word. Either through sword, right from Ghazni, Gori, Khilji or Tipu Sultan or other sultans who killed or threatened the people, those who did not convert to Islam. So for the eagerness to survive in the world, they might have got converted from Hindu Dharma to Islam. So their blood is Hindu blood. Their culture is Hindu culture. As in Malaysia, Indonesia and other places you can see, they definitely used to say our culture is Hindu Dharma, Hindu culture, but our religion is Islam. Even Malaysian currency, all the currency has got either Sri Rama or Vigneshwara in that currency note. Even today it has got. So their culture is Indian culture or Hindu culture. Religion is Islam. So like that, in India, the Muslims have not come from Saudi Arabia or Mecca or Middle East. They are born here, surviving here, and they will be dying here after a particular duration of time. So like that, the Christians have never come from Israel or Jerusalem. They were Hindus, got converted into Christianity by hooks or crooks, or by their own intention, positive intention. So they are Indian, they were Indian, they will be Indian. Their blood is Indian blood, their blood is Hindu blood. And many of the Christians, you can see, they will be saying, they are saying that our forefathers are Brahmins, our forefathers are Nambudris, and so on. So partly they are proud to say their forefathers are Hindus, but some other occasion they say they are pure Christian, nothing to do with the Hindu Dharma. Whatever may be, one thing is sure, the Christians of India, Muslims of India, whether they like it or not, they are the inheritors of Indian culture, Indian values, Indian heritage. So they should also learn Indian heritage from today onwards. First part of the heritage, Indian spirituality. Second part of the heritage is Indian customs and rituals. Third part of the heritage is Indian literature. Fourth part of the heritage is Indian scientific and technological heritage. Under these four pillars, the whole Indian culture will be standing, can be stood up without any problem. So, we will be starting more and more learning process. From the next day onwards, we will be starting on Indian spirituality. All the questions asked on Indian spirituality will be answered through this session. Many questions asked not only through YouTube, not only through email, but also through the people who attended my lectures all over the world. I was fortunate enough to conduct about 6,000 lectures for the last 30 years, 35 years. So majority of the questions are with me. So those questions will also be answered. So that for Sakir Naik, for Matthew, for GB Jibin, or for any bishop or cardinal or Maulavi, or for anybody, the Indian spirituality, Indian customs and rituals, Indian literature, and Indian scientific and technological heritage will become a subject of knowledge. They will understand what is really meant by scientifical, rational and logical analysis of Indian culture. So from this new year day of Vishu, as 5116th year of Kali Yuga starts, 5116th year of Kali Yuga starts today. So we can say this day is the Yugadi, this day is the New Year day, this day is the glorious day for us for learning Indian culture and heritage. Again I say, scientifically, logically, rationally. For the Hindus, Christians and Muslims, for the leftist, rightist and the middleist, for the atheist, for the believer and for the worshipper. Everyone should learn Indian heritage, either for accepting scientifically, logically and rationally, or for rejecting. It's not a must that you should accept it, but you should understand it before accepting or rejecting. Thank you very much. My pranams to you.